Greetings, everyone. I know that y'all have been following me for a long time today. It has been a long and harrowing day. I had to go all the way across town earlier today, and what I'm doing is I'm going to take you into the war den. I don't know if you people have looked at the 8 Hours with Dan Locke, but we're gonna let you hear some of Dan Locke. And we're going to start you off with this question. We're testing some of this equipment. So I guess the first one we're going to ask is,
I want you to discuss for 2 minutes, what does passive income mean to you and what does financial freedom mean to you? So I'll give you 2 minutes. Just come on, your partner. Go.
All right. So passive income and financial freedom. I'm going to go ahead and repeat that as I do my little login ritual.
Okay. What I want you to discuss for 2 minutes, what does passive income mean to you and what does financial freedom mean to you? So I give you 2 minutes. Just come on, your partner. Go. Give your partner a high five and say, thank you for sharing.
All right. Thanks for sharing. I hope that was inspirational. By the way, the full 8 hours of Dan Locke is available, just released up there. Just type in 8 hours to change your life, Dan Locke. Right now, I'm in the war den. Burn your face off. Trying to get things together for the chase tomorrow. We're expecting QLCS. Similar to what we saw about 3 weeks ago. On December 31st, the last day, we had that QLCS come through. Tornado watch. And, 15, 20 reports of damage. No tornadoes, just, sporadic damaging wind. And a lot of it was rain. We got 2-3 inches of rain. So a lot of that, you got rain-soaked trees falling down. It's just not that big of a deal, but this one we're talking about is going to be the first one. Similar type go, similar type setup. And what we're doing right now, I don't know if you people noticed, but before when we were working on the drone, which I took the drone airborne with y'all, it was choppy. We had some errors, but we discovered the gimbal's fried as far as the motor, the tilt, the pan function, but the camera itself works. I don't give a rat's ass. It's nice to have that tilting function, but in the heat of the power, in the heat of the storm, it doesn't really matter that much as long as you're locked in. This is what we were filming you with earlier, and we're going to show you something pretty neat because I'm hoping to have this figured out by tomorrow. This is what I told you I would do for you as fans and what I should probably be doing for myself. What we're going to be looking for is encoders. One of them is OBS. So if you go to support.google.com, lots of bugs on there, by the way. You'll see a lot of these different sites. We'll see if this has OBS. OBS is what I used to use on that. The computer that I'm streaming to you on, I used OBS, and unfortunately, it really didn't have the potency. Let me bring you in a little bit closer here. And I'm also going to make a change on my settings. For those of you who've never seen one of these operating systems before, it's called Mojave. And it's got a little bit of a learning curve to it. But see right there? Y'all see that a little better? All right, let me bring your ass. So you can watch me operate. And we're trying to get a system to where we can do a little bit more. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let you watch me operate for a minute, and what we're looking for is something called OBS. Live Desk Studio. We'll see what the problems are. There's a lot of these. It looks like I said some of these you got to pay for. I've never done it on Windows. This is Macintosh. So again, we're going into 6 minutes. This is the work. This is the storm chase work they don't tell you about. And let's try this motherfucker out. All right, this is stage 10. We're going to look into this in 1 second. Usually, okay. Well, I think we're already in the car here. So what they're gonna want us to do is start doing that. And while I do that, let's let you listen to Dan.
So, what does it mean to you? And it's very personal. Everybody means different things, of course. And tonight, I'm going to share some things with you. Well, first of all, the truth will set you what? But first it will piss you off. And I'm going to say some things tonight that I think will shock you. And I know that why you came here. And also now know what you came here to learn. But I think what you walk away with from tonight might be quite different than what you expect. You might think you're coming for one thing, but I think you'll walk away with something way more valuable. You might think tonight is a money conversation, but then at the end you might realize it might be a life conversation. So it would be quite interesting. And I think last time I did this, it was extremely powerful and people were blown away by what I shared. And some people were pissed off. And it's normal. Because sometimes it pisses you off first and then you're like, damn, that is the truth. And it might take a while for you to digest. But if you actually, if you're open, what's the word? Open. Yeah. I think you'll find it incredibly liberating. But let's see what happens. Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about my journey and how I started on this path of passive income, how I generate passive income. I first came to Canada years ago with no money, no connections, and not a word of the English language on my lips.
Alrighty. Like I said, we're kind of doing a little fireside chat here. Dan Locke here. I'm breaking into Dan Locke here. This is I was recently introduced to him, and I've heard some powerful things, so I'm sharing him with you. And we're kind of working with him together the night before the chase. But what he's talking about, the first 15 minutes, first 20 minutes of the broadcast, he's talking about passive income. What is passive income? And this is something that I preach to a lot of the people that I kind of work with. And if you want, I'm going to let you go take a look into the Sin Lab here. You're going to have to come take a look in the Sin Lab because I've got to thing in here. Pretty what he talks about is something called passive income. And passive income is money that flows in, like right now. I'm sitting here in the Sin Lab looking for some Sin items that aren't in here. And while I'm doing that, I know on YouTube, after all the fighting, after 6 years now, money is flowing in. We averaged out yesterday, it's 3 pennies an hour. You say, man, 3 pennies, that's nothing. 3 pennies down there overseas to save some. I mean, you live like a king. 3 pennies is a start. It's passive income. 3 pennies is 48 packs of Budweiser a year. It's $357.70 per year. So it's money that's coming in when you're not working. And I felt like with my parents and a lot of things they did, the traps they did it was active money. It was things that I never knew about. I never knew the difference. I think it was made of Grant Cardone or something, where I learned some of those people about what they would talk about passive income. It was like, well, first time that I ever heard the word, it was like, well, what the fuck is that? And it sounds kind of jaded, but there's a lot of different forms. I mean, it could come in the forms of Social Security payments, Social Security benefits. It could come in the form of food stamps. It could come in the form of probably, what are they, annuities or alimony or child support, earned income credit. Basically, corn feds call it handout. So-and-so calls it free money. But regardless of what you call it, if you don't have that attitude, you're not going to really see it. But let's get you back over here to Dan, because we're downloading some software and we're going to be showing you this stuff. It's called Stage 10 TV software for your Macintosh.
Tell from my accent. I was born in Hong Kong. I came here when I was 14 years old, and my mom and dad got divorced when I was 16 years old. So I was the only child in my family. So at an early age, at first my dad was sending us some little bit of money, but later on, because his company went bankrupt in Hong Kong, so he stopped sending us money, and all we had is whatever we brought to Canada. So as a young boy, that I had to mature very quickly, because then I had to provide for my mom, to take care of my mom. At an early age, I was never interested in money. It was never my thing. I thought, at the time, was very much into like martial art. I thought my biggest dream in the world would be just be a martial art instructor. That was it. But then I realized at the time my martial art instructor was broke. Okay, he had 5 students, and only 2 were paying him. And I was one of them. So I thought maybe that's not a good way to make a living. And I couldn't provide for my mom. But what's interesting is looking back, what I realized is that I've always had this a teacher's heart. I like to teach. So now the difference is I'm not teaching martial art, but I'm teaching entrepreneurship and business. That's my passion. And you see, I'm very passionate about what I do. So through that experience, started my first business when I was in high school with a couple of my buddies, a lawn mowing business. Now, let me tell you about lawn mowing business. We started off with, we had a lawn mowing machine and a couple of buddies, and the business was okay. It was doing quite good, except we just didn't have any customers. Everything else was good. So now in business, when you don't have customers, what happens? You go broke. And then when you go broke, do you still have a business? No. So I learned my lesson there. So it failed very quickly. And then I started another business. And I thought to myself, you know what, learn my lesson and dust myself off, learn from my mistakes, started the second business. And I said to myself, this is it. I can feel it.
So, all right, crew. Have you ever just said in life, man, this is it. I can feel it. We're 16 minutes into the chat. We're looking into the Sin Den in Terry Tyler's fucking laboratory. We are less than 24 hours away from a goddamn storm chase, the likes of which you're never going to fucking see again. We've got the drone tested out. We're working on a lot of things. And I said, now, some people don't really dig that flavor. Me personally, I dig the flavor. And passive income to me is security. Let me tell you something a man taught me. Supervisor of Itawamba County, Mississippi. This is an old head. He'd been around. He'd seen it all. And we worked through this program called Three Rivers. And this was a program during the Obama administration. They had some program to where some youth could work 3 months. We worked 3 months and we got paid at the end. And they said, now, son, you're good enough to go out and spend it all. He said, I'm going to tell you something about money. He said, I don't want you to ever forget it. Before we give you this money and we send you on your way and we give you your certificates and we pass you on to this program, he said, I want to tell you something I learned about money throughout my, so many years. He said, money, it doesn't buy happiness, but it buys security and it buys peace of mind. And he said, what you need to do, just stuff you, don't go out and buy a bunch of things that you don't need, that are going to fuck you up. Go out and, find something that you enjoy doing that maybe you can make more money with. Like, think of money as a tree. Go out and say, well, we're going to plant, $500 in XRP. We're going to invest in some crypto, which I don't buy, like I said, I do that, but I'm going to invest in this. Or we're going to invest in this Dan Locke video, which hopefully, like I said, I'll find more about those. We're going to invest in something. When you invest in that, you're going to wind up making more money because you invest in your mind, you're investing in something real, you're growing. And it's something that's very fascinating. I want you guys to just take one more second and think about that and meditate on what you're doing with your life. Why are you here? You can comment in the after effects or you can comment now. I don't see anybody in here, so we're going to leave this shit for posterity. And I'm going to turn you back over the auspices of Mr. Dan Locke.
This is the one that I'm going to make it big. Then I can provide for my family and pay off some of the debt. This is it. And guess what happens? I fail again. And I dust myself off, learn from mistakes, say to myself, motivate myself, and say, you know what? Stop the next one. This one, this is the one. I can just feel it. I know it's going to work. And guess what happens? Yeah, I fail again. Okay. And at the time, I was jumping from one thing to another and always looking for the perfect vehicle, the perfect business, whatever it might be. And I would try all kind of try vending machines. I tried network marketing. I tried, software, all kinds of things, right? None of them worked. And then I went into a different path where, okay, how come I see other people are successful? How come I don't think are they 10 times smarter than me? I don't think so. Did they work 10 times harder than me? I don't think so. Then what's missing? Must be something wrong with me. So I went heavily into personal development. So read all the books and attended the seminars, workshops, motivate myself. And in fact, I read Think and Grow Rich.
You guys,
So I read Think and Grow Rich 10 times.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? This is the amp up. Wow. Oh yeah. We got something bad coming in. That right there is the shock wave of a lightning bolt striking 50,000 degrees Celsius. I'm going to show you. I think we have thunderstorms coming in. Watch. Watch the cloud. Oh my God, out of nowhere. Yeah. Our location is here in the Tupelo area, which is 15 miles. We can hear it. I thought I just heard a lightning. If the storm gets too bad, if the storm starts to get too bad, this is the first wave. This is the warm sector that's going to blow through. I want to do something new this year, take you people through the storm, kind of like the Jim Morrison tapes. Anyway, we've got to make sure that we get this equipment in place. This shit right here is called Stage 10. And it needs your Google account. And it wants to delete your videos. I don't know. Listen. You hear that? That's it. That's frightening. That's the first rumbles. You're hearing the first rumbles of the 2019 storm season. Okay, take a look at what we got. Wow. Look at this software. This is a tutorial on it. There's a lot of risks you're giving them, but what we're going to do is we're going to show you. Okay, this is what we have. Try to get a source from the feed pool. This is going to be a little tough. We're going to have to shut this down. We've got a bad storm coming in. Yeah, we're going to shut that down just for a minute. We're going to step outside. We've got a bad storm coming in, folks. We're 25 minutes in, so we'll try to break off. We will be back in the next video.